We open with a long take, wide shot on the vast canyons of the Texas desert, carved by eons of weathering, as we, the audience, are made to reflect on echoes of times past. The camera pans to find our main character, Travis, tiny in the distance with his red hat as he wanders through the landscape. Wide shots, negative space, as well as choice of setting in the opening sequence of Wim Wenders Paris, Texas, creates a sense of vast emptiness and mental isolation in our main character, a reflection of an amnesiac's vacant state and forgotten memories. Like a barely lucid ghost in the corporeal realm, Travis wanders around the various scenery in long, lingering takes, creating a rhythm of slowness on screen. A shadow of a man barely there, he disappears into the scenery. Eventually, Travis collapses near a small town where his brother Walt finds him. Slowly, through subtle tightening of the frame, we learn that Travis had been missing for 4 years, having left behind a 7-year-old son named Hunter, who Walt and his wife Anne had taken in to care for. The gradual increase of intimacy and framing comes with the revelation that Travis is not the victim of this story.
Hi.
The two brothers reconnect and seem to bond over memories, but the framing tells us that amidst the nostalgic reflections remains a distance. The gap caused by the years of separation and uncertainty remains. Despite being in the small confines of a car on the road, the two are not shown in the same frame, but instead are framed by the space around them. The weight of abandonment serves as the barrier between Travis and the people around him, and the second act shows us its effects. Living as a corporeal ghost, Travis is visually separated from the world. As he reconnects with his son Hunter, we see a mirrored shot of the two of them as they walk home together, side by side, but with the distance of the road stretched out in between them. Although they are together, Travis and Hunter aren't in the same frame until a wide shot that emphasizes the emotional distance that remains between the two. The shot lingers for a while as Travis approaches his son, slowly closing the gap between them in center frame. Wordlessly and instinctively, the two gravitate towards each other, bound by their inherent connection as father and son, as we now see them for the first time, framed from behind. However, a looming threat of disruption weighs over Walt and Anne as they fear for the well-being of the son they have cared for 4 years. Their anxieties are framed by their off-centered silhouettes being pushed to the side of their respective shots, as if being in the shadows of Hunter's biological parents. Haunting the lives of Walt, Anne, and Hunter with the shadow of his eventual return, Travis selfishly whisks away his son, seeking to mend the wrongs of his past, leading us to the third act in the film. After a long road trip with his son, Travis eventually finds Jane, his ex-wife, working at a neon-lit peep show with spaces themed by liminal Americana haze. The first time we see the enigmatic Jane in the flesh, there is the undeniable presence of a one-way mirror that separates the two, an emotional barrier stemming from their shared past. Travis and Jane have finally come face to face but inhabit completely different worlds, marked by the distance caused by Travis's abandonment all those years ago. Bound by the frame, we only see Jane in the hotel peep show booth head-on and from one lingering perspective. Only until the camera cuts to Travis do we see a new point of view. As if framed within a frame, Jane is confined within the booth like a princess trapped in a tower. The one-way mirror a portal as well as a barrier, a visual manifestation of Travis and Jane's shared past that prevents them from reuniting once more. The rift of time has disparaged their love, yet the simple emotional truths they share remain. For a moment, in our borderless immersion, it feels as if reconciliation between the two is possible. But when we cut back to the visible wooden frame around Travis and Jane's reflections on the one-way mirror, we are snapped back into the sobering reality of why the two continue to remain at a distance. The second time Travis visits Jane, the frame around the booth along with Travis's silhouette is shown to us from the get-go. The visual contrast creates a space around the characters, despite being face-to-face, and sets the two apart in their own worlds. The two speak, facing away from each other, with a large gap in between them. So much of what they say in this scene is not even said at all, but it is conveyed by the space between them. As Travis leans into the glass, his face reflected onto Jane, we get a clear sense that his entire life is and has always been framed by losing her. In Travis's brief burst of anger, we as an audience are reminded that the irreversible barrier between them persists. Upon realizing that his presence in their lives could only ever be harmful, Travis leaves mother and son to reunite in a hotel room as he stands from a great distance. In a parallel hue of green, Travis stands with his back turned under a mercury vapor-lit Texan city skyline. Having accomplished what he set out to do in a wide shot parallel to the beginning scenes, Travis dissipates once more like a ghost into the night as his vehicle merges into anonymity in the Texas traffic. Paris, Texas is beautiful as it is quiet. Through its profound visual and emotional landscapes, the film offers ample visual space for reflection alongside the characters. Paris, Texas is a poignant visual reminder that emotions can often defy what is rational, and what the heart desires isn't always what's best. The film begins and ends with wandering, underscoring the endless drift of life's passing memories. In light of this, one thing remains: we must all continue to trudge forward in the desert sands of time.